Mastin, think back to Blender's roots. What do you believe was its turning point?
I'd say when Blender went open source in the early 2000s, the community exploded. Suddenly, innovation was driven by thousands, not a single company.
And the UI overhaul in version 2.8, massive. What about for total beginners? What should they prioritize learning in the interface?
Start with navigation, middle mouse, number pad, and the shortcuts for view change and selecting. Customizing workspaces early saves frustration. Modeling, shading, and animation tabs each tailored for their tasks.
Agreed. And set that default save folder. Don't be stuck hunting for files.
Let's smash some myths about hardware. Alex, is GPU the only thing that matters?
Not at all. RAM is your unsung hero, especially for big scene files. I always say 16 gigabyte minimum if you're serious, and more is better.
For animators working on a laptop, what's a game changer?
Switching from HDD to SSD, scene load and texture import speeds up dramatically. Even on an old machine, SSD can feel like a new computer.
Any tips for stretching life out of a basic machine?
Keep the scene lightweight, use proxies, maybe turn off overlays, and save often. Also, run only Blender, close those browsers. When planning a project, where do you start?
References. Whether it's hardware or a fantasy scene, I build a reference board. Then storyboard keyshots, even stick figures. It lets me see problems before I animate.
Asset list too. Don't jump into modeling blind. A clear checklist, even color-coded, helps track progress.
And naming. I prefix every object logically. Laptop base, laptop screen, no more cube, .027 confusion when deadlines bite. What's the #1 modeling concept a beginner should master?
Edge loops. Clean flow means easier texturing, rigging, and animating. Bad topology causes endless headaches.
Real versus stylized models. What changes?
Stylized lets you exaggerate, skip some realism. But for anything mechanical, accuracy matters. Measure, use blueprints, respect real-world pivot points.
Any Boolean workflow secrets?
Boolean's great for subtracting slots and ports. Always fix the mesh manually after. Avoid leaving endguns or non-manifold faces. One of the most confusing areas, shaders. How do you mentally break down a Blender material?
Start simple. Base color, then add roughness, metallic, and normal/bump. Don't overthink the node spaghetti until you've mastered these.
Eevee or cycles, what drives your choice?
Previewing, Eevee every time. For the final, cycles is king for realism and shadows. On slow hardware, bake textures for speed.
Lighting?
3-point for people, but often just one bright HDRI and some fill. For laptops, small rim lights make the edges stand out. Let's get into animation. What's your rule for setting clean keyframes?
Always animate transforms, location, rotation, scale, separately. It's easier to tweak motion later without surprises.
Curve modifiers. How do you use them?
For mechanical things, constraints and curve modifiers are huge. Animate a laptop opening with a hinge bone, control the ease in and ease out with the graph editor for natural motion, and nonlinear animation.
NLA lets you layer, tweak, and blend actions without re-keyframing from scratch. Huge for reusing walk cycles or UI pop-ups.
Common complaint. Blender lags on complex scenes. Solutions?
Viewport Simplify is so underrated. Use bounding box mode, drop subdivisions, switch to solid shading.
How about preventing file corruption and crash panic?
Use auto backup, external save versions, and always manually pack images into the .blend file for portable projects. If you had to organize a community animation challenge, how would you structure it?
Clear theme, 2-week timeline. Share a starter asset for consistency. Encourage people to ask for peer feedback and post WAPs.
For remote teams?
Google Drive or Dropbox for sharing. Regular check-ins. Use Blender's asset browser for team libraries. Keep naming and folder structure strict. Where's Blender making its biggest mark right now?
Game asset creation and pre-visualization in indie film. Workflow flexibility and the lack of licensing costs are huge advantages.
For freelancers?
Portfolio is everything. Show wireframes, process GIFs, and present project stories, not just renders.
What about client management?
Stay organized. Clear contracts, milestone breakdowns, regular previews. Listener Q. Can I get into Blender with zero art background?
Absolutely. Start small. Copy real objects. Mimic simple scenes. Blender rewards curiosity over natural drawing talent.
Biggest Blender myth?
That it's just for hobbyists. Increasingly, major studios rely on Blender for specialized pipelines. Final advice for marathon learners?
Pause for reflection. Never binge only tutorials. Try something creative with each new tool.
Do you have a favorite add-on?
Hard ops for modeling, Node Wrangler for materials, tons of time savers.
How do you manage add-on overload?
Test one at a time, learn defaults, and regularly review your list for conflicts or redundant scripts. Geometry nodes, exciting but intimidating. Where do you start?
Focus on small procedural tasks. Scatter rocks, generate fences, build complex setups modularly, not all at once.
Simulations, what's the workflow?
Concept first, then incrementally layer, domain, source, tweak properties, bake, and don't fear rebaking for improvement. What's different about working for a studio versus solo?
Studios, pipeline discipline, asset versioning, team feedback, lots of meetings. Solo, total creative control but must manage every hat, artist, project manager, accountant.
Biggest studio tool besides Blender itself?
Shotgun or production trackers for scheduling and notes. How is Blender shaking up VR and 360-degree content?
Built-in panoramic cameras, ease of exporting for WebGL Unity. Blender lowers technical hurdles for immersive creators. Even casual artists can prep models for AR filters now.
Any pipeline tips for cross-software work?
Maintain strict naming. Limit fancy modifiers. Test exports regularly in your target engine. Do you practice daily in Blender?
Almost. Daily sketches, even 20 minutes, unlock experimentation and long-term growth. Trying new modifiers or NPR renders is a creative reset.
Break out of creative ruts?
Join themed art challenges or collaborate. Seeing peers solve problems differently is motivating and humbling. What's crucial for a standout Blender portfolio in 2025?
Tell a story, not just show art. Show breakdowns, iterations, and finished results. A good ArtStation or Behance profile connects to commissioned work rapidly.
Monetization avenues?
Prints, stock assets, YouTube tutorials, selling add-ons or templates, many income paths for skilled Blender creators.
To wrap up our marathon, let's each answer. What would you tell your beginner self?
Don't fear complexity. Focus on micro skills and celebrate small wins. Blender's mountain is scalable with patience and iterations.
Stay playful. No project is wasted, even failures teach. And find a community. Challenges, collabs, and discussions supercharge growth.
For everyone still tuned in, follow us at Codeless Daily, send feedback or Blender dilemmas, and keep blending fearlessly.